Hi guys, another episode of my charity shop Gold or Garbage. Spotted this little fella in my charity shop. £2 again. I think actually one of my grandchildren's got one of these. First thing, the tyres are missing off the back wheels, and also that spins far too easily. Bearing in mind there's an electric motor in there. Looks to me like the gears might be stripped off it. So we're already looking at something in a bit of a sorry state. But on the other hand, if I'm just going to take this apart and use it for parts, there's a servo in the front there, and we've got a steering mechanism, so that would be useful for a little project. It's obviously radio controlled, so there's a receiver in there somewhere. I've already put some fresh batteries in there, so I can switch it on. Get a little flash there. It even, well, listen to this. I do wonder what we're actually trying to teach our children when we give them something like this that involves squealing tyres and all the rest, but I'm not trying to moralise here. So on the face of it, obviously the power is working. It makes the speakers work anyway. We've got some flashing lights on it. I don't know what channel the radio control works on. I've got my 27 megahertz transmitter here, and that does nothing. I've got another one here, 49 megahertz, and it doesn't react to that one. And I've even got another one here, 40 megahertz. And it doesn't react to that one either, so either that's not the right channel or the receiver's gone anyway. So I'm looking at this basically to salvage parts, and just the cost of a servo that does steering is going to be more than £2, so straight away I'd say I've made a profit on that. So I'll take it apart and see what's inside. Okay, got it apart, and the first thing I notice is up here it actually says infrared sensor. So where I was thinking it was a radio controlled car, it looks like it's one of those ones that works off an infrared transmitter, and I'm pretty sure I've got one of them laying around somewhere, so I'll try that in a minute. But going back to what we've got, as I say, we've got a servo controlling the steering there, so that's worth having anyway. And we've got the electric motor in the back here. I don't know if I can get some power on it and see if I can get that to run. Right, I've got an infrared control here, but that doesn't seem to be triggering anything. I've got a few different channels here. Let's nope, that doesn't seem to be triggering it at all. Right, I've given up on trying to get the infrared circuit to work. So what I've done now is taken the car down to its basic components. I've got the front end here with the steering servo. That will be useful on any project I decide to do. So I've got the battery still in there, so I can just demonstrate. So that works fine. I've got the engine assembly with the gearbox, which we just connect up onto there. So that works fine. It's also got a switch in there which I can use, or I could use on something totally different, but I've left it on there for now just so I don't lose it. I kept that little bit. I thought that might be handy to put into some project or other. Just amuses me, that one. And then we got the infrared sensor. Got a couple of LEDs. Got a push switch and a speaker. A couple of screws stuck to it. So that's some useful components for something else. So quick summary. Charity shop, gold or garbage. Basically it was garbage in that it didn't work. There was no transmitter to go with it. The tyres are missing off the wheels. So in essence, if you wanted to give it to somebody as a toy, it was no good at all. From my point of view, for making powered projects, the fact we got an engine in there with a gearbox already, that's ideal. And also the fact we've got the steering servo, that's ideal for another project. You wouldn't be able to buy them for £2 anywhere in any model shop. So from a parts point of view, it's charity shop gold. From a useful toy point of view, it's garbage. And there you go. That was fun. Just one final point before I put all the bits in a box. I've had a look at this gearbox assembly and it's a little bit more involved than I thought it was. When I first looked at the car in the charity shop, I spun the wheels and assumed that the gearbox was actually damaged in some way or other, because you could spin the wheels freely without them engaging the electric motor. But I've since realised that when you actually operate the on-off switch, which obviously switches the power on and off, at the same time it's pushing a cam across here that engages the gears. So there's nothing wrong with the gears. It's a cam operation that actually engages the gears with the on-off switch. And if I just demonstrate that by switching it the other way, you can see. Whereas if I just connect that directly to the electric motor, I wonder if I can just jam it in. There we go. So it's an even better gearbox than I expected. Electric motor in that position, free wheels, or the wheels freewheel. Move the cam across and it engages the gears. I'm guessing that's been designed so that when the kids want to play with the car without the engine running, then the wheels spin freely and they don't damage the gearbox. But when you switch it on, it engages the gearbox and away you go. Oh, and the electric switch, when I took that apart and had a look at it, it got significant water damage in it. So that may have been one of the problems, that things had got shorted out in there, and that may have caused some of the initial problems. But anyway, I'm happy because I've got a gearbox with an electric motor all assembled, all in one piece, with a clutch effect, and at the other end I've got my servo steering, so all useful things for another project.